well, as a matter of fact, a very, very prominent musician. Oh, I'm not going to protect the guilty. Gustav Leonhardt once
Yes.
said, "It sounds beautiful, but it is wrong, and I can prove it." Yeah. He said, "It is wrong, and I can prove it." Now. I was curious, and some years later I met Leonhardt, by the way, and I said to him, I'm curious about this because you said you can prove it. So obviously, I'm interested in anything that can prove me wrong. And do you have some evidence that and honest to God, he said to me, "Oh no, I don't have any different evidence. I just read it differently from you."
Wow.
Now, I'll have to say that is, forgive this word, unethical and fake. And I lost a lot of respect for Leonhardt in that
And
exchange.
really a huge respected figure in early
Yeah.
music,
Well,
but
not so fast in every way. Leonhardt's a complicated character. I mean, I respect him enormously as a musician. I never cared for his music making particularly, but I always had great respect for it, and I still do. But those in
he
Holland.
had to admit that it was beautiful. He had to admit that.
Yes, I'm pleased that he did admit that it was beautiful. But as I say, um, this that somehow his opinion is the truth. Well, he traded on that a lot. Leonhardt traded on an authority that was
That
in large
famous quote that
measure.
he is considered the Pope of harpsichordists or something like that.
Yeah, well, he played on that. I mean, he didn't create it, I'm sure, but in a way, he created it by adopting this particular high ascetic attitude, etc., which was not totally the truth of his life. But again, okay, he's human. I'm not here to knock Leonhardt, as I say, for whom I do have a great deal of respect.
Right.
It's just that life is
Yeah, I would have
complicated. And I suppose we could
if
also
he had
say,
provided some evidence, that would have been a good sort of discussion, I think.
if he had the evidence, I would have loved to have seen it,
Mm.
or if he could even defend how he read it. But to say, I can prove it, no, that just doesn't go. I will say one thing about that occurs to me. There is something about this issue that has a lot of people, let's say, performing beneath their level.
Ah,
It's not worthy of a Leonhardt to adopt a ploy like that. It's not worthy of certain other scholars, I know. Um, and it, but let me try to put a positive spin on it. I mean, have I suffered for this? Oh boy, yes. Just for the very simple fact that I lost a lot of work. I mean, Andrew Parrott has experienced the same thing. Sigismund Kauken has experienced the same thing, although he has done better in part because of where he was, etc., etc. But none of us have had it easy who've made the switch, as it were. But people clearly have a very, very, very vested interest in maintaining what had been a status quo. But the vested interest comes, I think, from a genuine love of this music and identification with this music. When there were very vociferous reactions against this, when I first had the temerity to comment publicly, I said sometimes, look, it's like being told that what the flag is in tatters, apple pie will give you ptomaine poisoning, and I mean, mom, the flag and apple pie, the great things.
it's
And
beyond the pale, essentially.
yeah, people were offended by it. And as I say, look at it, it doesn't excuse it all, but it also has its roots in, I think, genuine passion for this music,
Mm.
love of this music, and identification for this music, with this music. And if you are being told that what you had identified with was not true, you take that personally in many ways.